Happy GLADYSS!
Is it here?
Say congratulations, Mom.
Congratulations.
Go give Mama a big hug.
Look how cool! Face me. No, hold it like this. I got my diploma and I'm opening it.
Congratulations, you earned this.
What did Daddy get in the mail? Look at the pluses. What do you think?
It looks so good, Mom.
Looks good?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations!
It is my great pleasure to welcome all of the families, the friends, the administrators, the incredible faculty, and most of all, you, our graduates. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are excited to celebrate with you today.
We will come out of this stronger than when we went in. We've learned so much. We've grown so much. We're still, at the end, focused primarily on students, and everything else is secondary.
Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm Joanne.
And we're SNHU graduates. I chose SNHU to get a bachelor's and a master's.
I chose SNHU so I could continue my athletic career.
I just received my degree from SNHU.
SNHU was really supportive of my disability and allowed me to stay engaged in my classes while still attending doctor's appointments.
I am Michelle Barnhart and I'm a SNU graduate. As a student, SNHU made me feel like I belonged because they were always there for me whenever I needed them.
Everyone's path is different, but the destination and the dream are the same. To hold that degree and say to the world, I'm a college graduate. I did it.
At Southern New Hampshire University, you aren't just a student. You're the author of your own story. You don't just dream, you do. Where others see challenges, you see opportunities. You persevere in spite of everything life throws at you. When things get hard, you dig deep and find a way to push through. And after tackling late nights and rallying for early mornings, your hard work has finally paid off. And today, we are proud to call you graduates.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jennifer Bachelor, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the first ever Southern New Hampshire University virtual commencement. We are thrilled to be celebrating our graduates with their families, friends, as well as our faculty and staff who are watching from all over the world today. We are so proud of all you've accomplished and are very much looking forward to the opportunity to recognize your academic achievements in person as soon as we can. I would like to now ask everyone, if you are able, to please rise for the singing of our national anthem, sung by Jessica Caldwell, a Director of Academic Advising here at SNHU.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jessica. Welcome everyone to this year's commencement ceremonies. We're broadcasting this ceremony live, though many of you may be watching it later, depending on where you are. We have students from around the globe. Time zones may dictate that you watch this with your family at another time. And you might be sitting wherever you are, thinking, well, this isn't the commencement ceremony we planned on. We've thought that more than once. And you wouldn't be wrong. But I want to recall a conversation I had with Lori Santos from earlier this year. Lori is an amazing faculty member at Yale, and we had a conversation. You'll hear from her later today as our commencement speaker. And we had a conversation earlier this year in which I was asking her about the impact of the pandemic on our students and the toll it was taking. And she said, yeah, it's been tough, but these students may be the most close-knit class that we'll ever produce. That years from now, decades from now, when they meet each other, they will have this bond. They will be the ones who studied and completed and graduated during a pandemic, something that none of us has ever experienced before, and I hope we won't ever again. And she also reminded me that this is a year in which, despite all the suffering, and it was considerable, life also flourished. People fell in love, people proposed, were married, babies were born. Businesses closed, but a lot of businesses started in the midst of this. And people throughout showed amazing kindness and compassion. And against that backdrop, college degrees were completed as well. You finished. And you did so showing resilience and courage and sacrifice, and many with a burden that was much more than could be expected of you. There are frontline workers in this graduating class. There are public health workers in this graduating class, public safety people, medical professionals. You did all that our society asked of you and more, and you also completed your college degree. We stand in awe. So we celebrate today in this virtual way because that's what public health dictates. And we've made a promise to you that as soon as we can safely do so, we'll have a physical commencement ceremony. And I would love to greet you on stage, see you in the audience. But take pride in this accomplishment. Take more pride in this accomplishment, not less. We will brag about you more in the years to come, not less. We will remember you more vividly, not less. You are an amazing class. And don't let distance and virtual space diminish the virtues of this accomplishment. Commencements are important, really important. They are the parade through the city streets when the team has won the championship. But no one confuses the parade for the game. Parades are not the championships. You won that game in the long hours of being a student and writing papers, completing exams. And when you finished your last class, I know you remember that day, the last assignment was handed in and earned your degree, and in that moment you won the championship. You come into this day the champions of your own story and of our hearts, and we are incredibly proud. Let the ceremonies begin. It's my pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker, Dr. Laurie Santos of Yale University. Laurie has received a Doctorate of Humane Letters for her contributions to the social sciences, and more importantly, for her guidance, which has taken on national prominence for how to lead a healthier and happier life. Laurie is an incredibly influential figure who's taught us about resiliency, positive psychology, and in a way that doesn't neglect the genuine challenges and suffering in the world, but instead talks about how we build a meaningful and happy life despite, and in some cases, because of what we've been through. Laurie is perhaps the most apt speaker we could have for this incredible year that we've just been through together. I'm happy to introduce Dr. Laurie Santos.
Hello and good afternoon to everyone watching this 2021 Southern New Hampshire University Commencement Address. To President LeBlanc and all the members of the faculty and staff, to all the honored guests, to the family and friends of everyone at Southern New Hampshire University, and last but definitely not least, to all the graduates here with me today, the Spring 2020, Fall 2020, and Spring 2021 classes. Thank you so much for having me here today. I can't tell you what an honor it is to speak to your commencement class in particular. Simply put, your class is amazing. I'm looking out over this video screen at 45,000 graduates, on-campus and off-campus learners, scholars from all 50 states and more than 50 countries, people from all walks of life who share this love of learning and have come to Southern New Hampshire University to become scholars. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you for all your accomplishments, big and small, that you've had over the last few years. But I also want to congratulate you on the fact that you've managed to achieve all these accomplishments in one of the most challenging times our country and our world has ever seen. I'm sure that when you signed up to go to college, you didn't think you'd be getting your degree in the middle of a global pandemic. In the last 15 months, all our lives have changed in ways that nobody could have imagined. But in spite of all of those challenges, you're all sitting here today proudly watching this virtual commencement address. You're ready to head off into this new, nearly post-pandemic world with your degree. And that is incredible. You all rock, and you should be really, really proud of yourself. And so when I started thinking about the kinds of things I could say during this virtual commencement address, I wanted to address all the uncertainty and all the difficulty that we've all been facing. But to be totally frank, being a virtual commencement speaker in 2021 is kind of hard, because the usual task of a commencement speaker is to give you some wise and very sure of itself advice, something that you can use for the future. But right now, we're celebrating all of your achievements at a time when the future seems more uncertain than ever. I mean, I am a scientist and a happiness expert, but this is still my first global pandemic. I'm not sure what the next few months or even the next few years hold. And so when I thought what I could tell you during this kind of challenging, strange, uncertain time, I wanted to go back to something that I know will work, something that science tells me is advice that I can be sure of. And so I want to give you a strategy that is known by science to improve not just your physical health, but also your happiness. And that strategy is that I want you to take some time to experience gratitude, the simple act of counting your blessings. Now, feeling grateful right now in such a challenging time can be difficult. It's also a little countercultural. These days, we're more likely to count our hassles than our blessings. But research shows that gratitude can help, especially during difficult times. Grateful people are not only happier, but healthier. They sleep better, and they have stronger immune function. Gratitude can reduce depression and anxiety, and it also can make you more productive. No matter what job you are off to right now, gratitude can make you perform a little bit better. It can also help you with the big things in life, like saving for retirement and eating more healthily. You're less likely to procrastinate if you're feeling grateful, and it's a kind of strategy that can benefit you a lot in the future. And so, in the few minutes I have with you, I wanted to try it. I want you to experience some gratitude. So bear with me wherever you are. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a minute to just recognize how lucky you are to come to a place like Southern New Hampshire University. Think about how lucky you feel and how grateful you are. But even more than that, I want you to take a moment to experience gratitude for all the people who've helped you along the way. Because the fact is, none of you've made this journey on your own. This big accomplishment that you're all experiencing right now, it is something that you share with a huge village. Now, I think soon all of you are going to get your diplomas, and when it arrives, you're going to open it up and look at your name there, in big bold letters. But I want you to remember all the names that are also there in invisible ink, the many, many, many other names that have helped you with this accomplishment. And I want you to remember that they're not written on there in an obvious way, but they are there in invisible ink. On your diploma in invisible ink is going to be the name of your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunties and uncles, cousins, family, friends, grandparents, step-parents, everyone who's been there for you. On that name in invisible ink is going to be countless numbers of friends who've been there for you when you needed them, who've given you advice, who've talked you through the tough times. On there in invisible ink are probably your high school teachers, mentors, coaches, everyone who's been by your side through the long history of learning that you've had. And on that diploma in invisible ink are also going to be generations of people before you who've worked incredibly hard so that one day you could call yourself a college graduate. Now I want you to take a moment to notice how you feel, thinking about how lucky you are, all those names of people who've helped you along the way. That warmth in your chest, maybe some of those almost happy tears you might be shedding right now, that is a genuine feeling of gratitude and connection. It's a feeling that this world has your back. And that's what gratitude can do. It's a performance-enhancing drug, and one that's likely to give you lots more happy feelings in the time to come. Class of 2021, I hope you will take this scientific tip to heart. I speak for everyone else who's watching this when I say that so many of your teachers and family members and friends are incredibly proud of you and incredibly grateful that you've now graduated. Congratulations on all your accomplishments. And here's to deeply and intentionally appreciating all that life brings you from here on out. Congratulations, and thank you for having me as your virtual commencement speaker.
President LeBlanc, I am pleased to introduce the newest graduates of Southern New Hampshire University's College for America programs. Our graduates have acquired the knowledge, skills, professional dispositions, and competencies they need to succeed in their careers. These graduates will enter a more complex, dynamic, interconnected, and demanding environment than the graduates before them. Through their studies at SNHU and their real-world experiences, they are prepared to succeed in the highly challenging environments that await them. These graduates transition from being yesterday's students to being today's professionals and tomorrow's leaders. Additionally, please allow me to thank the many faculty, associate deans, advisors, and staff who have contributed to the success of these learners. Your work will have lifelong positive impact on the lives of these graduates. Congratulations to the newest graduates of SNHU's College for America General Studies programs.
At every graduation ceremony, there's one last piece that makes it official. And it's a bit of legal language that I'm required to read. I didn't read it one year when I started at SNHU, so there may be a whole class of people who think they graduated, and they may not have, but don't tell them. But you will be taken care of, so here we go. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Southern New Hampshire University and by the General Court of the State of New Hampshire, I hereby confer the degrees of Doctor of Education, Doctor of Philosophy, International Master of Business Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, and Master of Science. The Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Applied Science, and Bachelor of Science. Associate in Arts and Associate in Science, with all rights, honors, privileges thereto. Congratulations.
Nazrian Abdi, Bachelor of Arts. Faria Abdul, Bachelor of Arts. Jill Allen, Bachelor of Arts. Christy Anderson, Bachelor of Arts. Thomas Nsumana, Bachelor of Arts. Evelyn Anyaduba, Bachelor of Arts. Roberto Aranda, Bachelor of Arts. Kendra Barrientos, Bachelor of Arts. Faisal Bizimungu, Bachelor of Arts. Toby Bowe, Bachelor of Arts. Kelly Bray, Bachelor of Arts. Amanda Bright, Bachelor of Arts. Courtney Brown, Bachelor of Arts. Melissa Brown, Bachelor of Arts. Kevin Buckley, Bachelor of Arts. Terrence Bunninge, Bachelor of Arts. Akil Bukuba, Bachelor of Arts. Violetta Bunger, Bachelor of Arts. Julie Campbell, Bachelor of Arts. Oscar Daniel Canales, Bachelor of Arts. Randolph Carlton, Bachelor of Arts. Carolyn Carlucci, Bachelor of Arts. Emily Carr, Bachelor of Arts. Nancy Castro Pendas, Bachelor of Arts. Destiny Saraceni, Bachelor of Arts. Tracy Chunat, Bachelor of Arts. Camille Clark, Bachelor of Arts. KEARA Ko, Bachelor of Arts. Francisco Coelho, Bachelor of Arts. SHAYLA Coleman, Bachelor of Arts. Onika Collier, Bachelor of Arts. Anna Colum, Bachelor of Arts. Lavette Conway, Bachelor of Arts. Happy Sayuzu, Bachelor of Arts. Denise De Leon, Bachelor of Arts. Joanne Dela Cruz, Bachelor of Arts. Kim De Benedetta Rogers, Bachelor of Arts. Julie D, Bachelor of Arts. Lydia Dixon, Bachelor of Arts. Monica Duanes, Bachelor of Arts. Belinda DeClaska, Bachelor of Arts. Nellie Ducos, Bachelor of Arts. Tabitha Faye, Bachelor of Arts. Melissa Philman, Bachelor of Arts. Nikita France, Bachelor of Arts. Robert Frechette, Bachelor of Arts. Michelle Frenette, Bachelor of Arts. Joanna Fuentes, Bachelor of Arts. Linda Garner, Bachelor of Arts. Lorena Garza, Bachelor of Arts. Pamela Gassana, Bachelor of Arts. Daniel Gaudenti, Bachelor of Arts. Holly Gazin, Bachelor of Arts. Anissa Gibbs, Bachelor of Arts. Joseph M. Gillis, Jr., Bachelor of Arts. Dawn GLADYSZ, Bachelor of Arts. Sandra Gomez, Bachelor of Arts. Virginia Gonzalez, Bachelor of Arts. Judy Goodall, Bachelor of Arts. Patricia Grazer, Bachelor of Arts. Steve Grant, Bachelor of Arts. Michelle Greeley, Bachelor of Arts. Lisa Graber, Bachelor of Arts. Matthew Gutierrez, Bachelor of Arts. Ashley Haynes, Bachelor of Arts. Carol Hanna, Bachelor of Arts. Alnarius Harba, Bachelor of Arts. Gina Hecker, Bachelor of Arts. Angela Hernandez, Bachelor of Arts. Carla Hernandez, Bachelor of Arts. Elsa Hernandez, Bachelor of Arts. Catherine Hernandez, Bachelor of Arts. Ebony Hopkins, Bachelor of Arts. Dong Huyen, Bachelor of Arts. Adriana Aniza, Bachelor of Arts. Olali Aniza, Bachelor of Arts. Colleen Ingebeyer, Bachelor of Arts. Diane Iridokunda, Bachelor of Arts. Thatian Iridokunda, Bachelor of Arts. Jean Damour Irafasha, Bachelor of Arts. Joyce Irakarama, Bachelor of Arts. Naomi Iodesenga, Bachelor of Arts. Jonas Jazz, Bachelor of Arts. Kendra Jordan, Bachelor of Arts. Eric Kalisa, Bachelor of Arts. Souvenir Kalisa, Bachelor of Arts. Jocelyn Kong 8, Bachelor of Arts. Joseph Kankalongo, Bachelor of Arts. Wilson Karemera, Bachelor of Arts. Miniraho Karawabo, Bachelor of Arts. Gaston Katsumoto, Bachelor of Arts. Gary Klemick, Bachelor of Arts. Linda Knox, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Coons, Bachelor of Arts. Richard Lalland, Bachelor of Arts. Chandrawattie LALSA, Bachelor of Arts. Dawn Renee Langfritz, Bachelor of Arts. Tiffany Lanuette, Bachelor of Arts. Joshua Lawson, Bachelor of Arts. Kelvin Lawson Jr., Bachelor of Arts. Pamela Lepore, Bachelor of Arts. Sopheep Lim, Bachelor of Arts. Zachary Lord, Bachelor of Arts. Bethany Luke, Bachelor of Arts. Ellie Mzagabi, Bachelor of Arts. Annette Macy, Bachelor of Arts. Stella Maluki, Bachelor of Arts. Chris Mancini, Bachelor of Arts. Danielle Martorello, Bachelor of Arts. Layla Martin, Bachelor of Arts. Adriana Martinez, Bachelor of Arts. Nahum Martinez, Bachelor of Arts. Sharon Babatsi, Bachelor of Arts. Linda McCoy, Bachelor of Arts. GLADYSS Mejia, Bachelor of Arts. Ahmed Murda, Bachelor of Arts. Natalie Meyer, Bachelor of Arts. Jason Michelle, Bachelor of Arts. Tony Mejigo, Bachelor of Arts. JENARA Miller, Bachelor of Arts. Andrea Mitchell, Bachelor of Arts. Reza Moetzi, Bachelor of Arts. Shawna Moore, Bachelor of Arts. Indira Muick, Bachelor of Arts. Mike Muick, Bachelor of Arts. Christian Muhire, Bachelor of Arts. Audrey Majiji, Bachelor of Arts. Devat Mukshamana, Bachelor of Arts. Joseph Mutagoma, Bachelor of Arts. Melissa Mutayimana, Bachelor of Arts. Kevin Myers, Bachelor of Arts. TALEA Nelson, Bachelor of Arts. Linda Nichols, Bachelor of Arts. Eric Nyanjura, Bachelor of Arts. Jean Aloinkaka, Bachelor of Arts. Bruce Nkusi, Bachelor of Arts. Timothy O'Neill, Christina Oldham, Bachelor of Arts. Luana or Weston, Bachelor of Arts. Eber Ortiz Orta, Bachelor of Arts. Alexandra Pais, Bachelor of Arts. LaRonda Parker, Bachelor of Arts. Diana Partida, Bachelor of Arts. Monica Perez, Bachelor of Arts. Sonia Perkins, Bachelor of Arts. Lutsumi Fongsavat, Bachelor of Arts. Maria Poblano, Bachelor of Arts. Beth Pollock, Bachelor of Arts. Berenice Puga, Bachelor of Arts. UREIB QASSIS, Bachelor of Arts. Paul Raymond, Bachelor of Arts. Milagros Rivera, Bachelor of Arts. Natalie Rivera, Bachelor of Arts. Roy Rivera, Bachelor of Arts. Carrie Lee Robinson, Bachelor of Arts. Terrell Robinson, Bachelor of Arts. Dan Vertazier, Bachelor of Arts. Tiffany Saunders Newey, Bachelor of Arts. Dina Mendoza Sayavedra, Bachelor of Arts. Andrew Scheller, Bachelor of Arts. Robert Scott, Bachelor of Arts. GINA SENKO, Bachelor of Arts. Musa Sephora, Bachelor of Arts. Rodney Shannon, Bachelor of Arts. Tracy Shannon, Bachelor of Arts. Andrew Sharmisha, Bachelor of Arts. Matthew Shutt, Bachelor of Arts. Kaylin Skaggs, Bachelor of Arts. Susan Sloan, Bachelor of Arts. Anita Spainauer, Bachelor of Arts. Glendora Springer, Bachelor of Arts. Courtney Stamps, Bachelor of Arts. Indira Stevens, Bachelor of Arts. Kim Stewart, Bachelor of Arts. Anna Stout, Bachelor of Arts. Irene SUKHU, Bachelor of Arts. Danielle Marie Tempest, Bachelor of Arts. LaToya Travis, Bachelor of Arts. Erin Trincatella, Bachelor of Arts. Benign Uwatanus, Bachelor of Arts. Violetta Oy, Bachelor of Arts. Toya Uzzle, Bachelor of Arts. Linda Vasquez, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Villarreal, Bachelor of Arts. Anthony Vidiello, Bachelor of Arts. Ashley Watson, Bachelor of Arts. Megan Weinberg, Bachelor of Arts. Pamela Whitmore, Bachelor of Arts. Sarah Wiegand, Bachelor of Arts. Christina Wilson, Bachelor of Arts. Tracy Woody, Bachelor of Arts. Tonia Wurzelbacher, Bachelor of Arts. Jaljul Yehia, Bachelor of Arts. Angela Yilho, Bachelor of Arts. David Zabulon, Bachelor of Arts. Sana Abdulaziz, Associate in Arts. Gaspard Abimana, Associate in Arts. April Adams, Associate in Arts. Vonetta Adderley, Associate in Arts. Yufinfeet Ahmed, Associate in Arts. Jean-Pierre Kinjanai, Associate in Arts. Okumu Aquero, Associate in Arts. Fatima Al-Salhani, Associate in Arts. Lorena Alcazar, Associate in Arts. Zahir Alchik-Quider, Associate in Arts. Leslie Almaguer, Associate in Arts. Melissa Alvarez, Associate in Arts. Hamza Amer, Associate in Arts. Vicky Anderson Spitsiri, Associate in Arts. Sebit Anna, Associate in Arts. Miriam Miranda, Associate in Arts. Lorenzo Araujo, Associate in Arts. Tracy Arnold, Associate in Arts. Genevieve Otto Shah, Associate in Arts. Andrea Ayala, Associate in Arts. Christine Beckham, Associate in Arts. Eric Bellamy, Associate in Arts. Nzayanga Benitha, Associate in Arts. Alexis Bjornsted, Associate in Arts. Rainisha Blair, Associate in Arts. Bertrand Baishimo, Associate in Arts. Grace Cabrera Manzanares, Associate in Arts. Janet Castro, Associate in Arts. Edson Serta, Associate in Arts. Manson Chinkosi, Associate in Arts. Muhire Claude, Associate in Arts. Kathy Collin, Associate in Arts. Kelly Conway, Associate in Arts. Amber Copeland, Associate in Arts. Carlos Crump, Associate in Arts. Lori Crump, Associate in Arts. Mirta Kuna, Associate in Arts. Mahoro Sayusu, Associate in Arts. Charles de Gaulle, Associate in Arts. Jennifer Durda, Associate in Arts. Hannah Dominguez, Associate in Arts. Michelle Dorman, Associate in Arts. Megan Doherty, Associate in Arts. Kevin Dudley, Associate in Arts. Frederick Dusabimina, Associate in Arts. Daniel Emmons, Associate in Arts. Kadriniza Emmy, Associate in Arts. Stephanie Ernspiker, Associate in Arts. Leonardo Fontes Benavides, Associate in Arts. Christine Foolinlove, Associate in Arts. Dora Gallen, Associate in Arts. Carlos Gallegos, Associate in Arts. Melissa Galwan, Associate in Arts. Esther Garza, Associate in Arts. Bella Gassana, Associate in Arts. Alexis Gashima, Associate in Arts. Francine Gassenjerwa, Associate in Arts. Jonas Gassor, Associate in Arts. Danny Garrett, Associate in Arts. Courtney Gendreau, Associate in Arts. Christine Gerardi, Associate in Arts. Amanda Ginish, Associate in Arts. Ariane Girabantu, Associate in Arts. Marlena Godwin, Associate in Arts. Cami Gray, Associate in Arts. Garland-RHEA Grisby Sr., Associate in Arts. Cassandra Gutierrez, Associate in Arts. Teresa Gutierrez, Associate in Arts. Elizabeth Guy, Associate in Arts. Elise Habimana, Associate in Arts. Pascal Habimana, Associate in Arts. Gerard Hakizimana, Associate in Arts. Dina Hamad, Associate in Arts. Sherry Harris, Associate in Arts. Joshua Hedges, Associate in Arts. Fabiora Hijiro, Associate in Arts. Patience Ikarizi, Associate in Arts. Adeline Ingebeyer, Associate in Arts. Claude Arumba, Associate in Arts. Christopher James, Associate in Arts. Dylan Johns, Associate in Arts. Athena Jones Gomez, Associate in Arts. Simba Josephine, Associate in Arts. Sandra Juarez, Associate in Arts. Francis Kagutha, Associate in Arts. Thierry Kanani, Associate in Arts. Musanabra Karajire, Associate in Arts. Dalton Karangosi, Associate in Arts. Charity Katsala, Associate in Arts. Gloria Kitc, Associate in Arts. Marshall Kepler, Associate in Arts. Jason Kesselring, Associate in Arts. Bahia Kamsi, Associate in Arts. Makhat Kaur, Associate in Arts. Furaha Kaninga, Associate in Arts. Angela Kazigwa, Associate in Arts. Yamama Kole, Associate in Arts. Melody Coleman, Associate in Arts. Ashura Kamanda, Associate in Arts. Chagodi Kuki, Associate in Arts. Christian Quizera, Associate in Arts. Kenneth Laxatello, Associate in Arts. Marie Rochelle Laurat, Associate in Arts. Denise LeBron, Associate in Arts. Michelle Lecure, Associate in Arts. Tina Lewis, Associate in Arts. Michael Lissione, Associate in Arts. Courtney Lindley, Associate in Arts. Hala Mamo, Associate in Arts. Anna Magana, Associate in Arts. Lori Maggiacomo, Associate in Arts. Bahamajub, Associate in Arts. Ayuel Malek, Associate in Arts. Sandra Monsias, Associate in Arts. Emmanuel Manishimwe, Associate in Arts. Belaine Maria, Associate in Arts. Diudon Mishaja, Associate in Arts. Celine Babatsi, Associate in Arts. Cynthia McFarlane, Associate in Arts. Amado Menez Perez, Associate in Arts. Heather Miller Camp, Associate in Arts. Galdo Moding, Associate in Arts. Abdullahi Mohammed, Associate in Arts. Stacy Monroe, Associate in Arts. Lila Nancy Mpandu, Associate in Arts. Kazunga Muabwazina, Associate in Arts. Median Muhammad, Associate in Arts. Daniel Muhire, Associate in Arts. Lucille Mujawamaria, Associate in Arts. Godfrey Mukariri, Associate in Arts. Charles Munyana, Associate in Arts. Prince Murindwa, Associate in Arts. Yvonne Mutabatsi, Associate in Arts. DYNA Mutarotwa, Associate in Arts. Betty Navwire, Associate in Arts. Andrea Navarro, Associate in Arts. Jules Ndajajimina, Associate in Arts. Augustine Dahairi, Associate in Arts. Jackson Dahairi, Associate in Arts. Edwin Dashamai, Associate in Arts. Claude Ndeasaba, Associate in Arts. Aldo Kazito Ndizihai, Associate in Arts. Emmanuel Ndongarai, Associate in Arts. Jean Dotai, Associate in Arts. Celeste Nelson, Associate in Arts. Landrine Gentsi, Associate in Arts. Cody Ngochalu, Associate in Arts. Katie Nicholson, Associate in Arts. Lidovine Nizengui, Associate in Arts. Molly Amacho Nizigiamana, Associate in Arts. O.C. Norman, Associate in Arts. Esperance Nsabi Yokiri, Associate in Arts. Jean-Pierre Nsenjimina, Associate in Arts. Faustin Shimiamina, Associate in Arts. Florence Nairbuisa, Associate in Arts. Chantal Nairamajana, Associate in Arts. Anano Ongwech, Associate in Arts. Carolina Pangelinen, Associate in Arts. Coralie Panici, Associate in Arts. Charmi Patel, Associate in Arts. Samuel Perez, Associate in Arts. Sean Perkins, Associate in Arts. Lou Pitch, Associate in Arts. Kenneth Pruitt, Associate in Arts. Brenda Ramirez, Associate in Arts. Sandra Ramirez, Associate in Arts. Tammy Reeves, Associate in Arts. Alicia Reynolds, Associate in Arts. Jessica Richards, Associate in Arts. Alexis S. Riddick, Associate in Arts. Christina Robinson, Associate in Arts. Deborah Robinson, Associate in Arts. Jonathan Rodriguez, Associate in Arts. Jennifer Rohally, Associate in Arts. Melissa Rojas Villagomez, Associate in Arts. Brera Rosales Acevedo, Associate in Arts. Emily Rose, Associate in Arts. Lydia Rugarirwara, Associate in Arts. Ndeasenga Rukundo, Associate in Arts. Jean-Claude Rurinda, Associate in Arts. Innocent Saba, Associate in Arts. Gapra Siddiqui, Associate in Arts. Judy Salaman, Associate in Arts. Cynthia Saunders Cooper, Associate in Arts. Christine Skunholz, Associate in Arts. Jackie Segundo Rodriguez, Associate in Arts. Aya Sharof, Associate in Arts. Mariam Sharof, Associate in Arts. Shelby Sharp, Associate in Arts. Jonisha Shoemate, Associate in Arts. Rafiki Shiaka, Associate in Arts. Jonisha Snow, Associate in Arts. April Steinmetz, Associate in Arts. Catherine Stoltzfus, Associate in Arts. Samantha Sweat, Associate in Arts. LaShanya Thomas, Associate in Arts. Dawn Trenholm Colvin, Associate in Arts. Catherine Truesdale, Associate in Arts. Christopher Turner, Associate in Arts. Ebony Turner, Associate in Arts. Mark Huber, Associate in Arts. Janvier Aguaniza, Associate in Arts. Jacqueline Amurisa, Associate in Arts. Luz Amwali, Associate in Arts. Angelique Utamuliza, Associate in Arts. Opportune Utuj, Associate in Arts. Pacifique Yura, Associate in Arts. Benitha Uwingabai, Associate in Arts. Aline Uwazai, Associate in Arts. Medley Vasquez, Associate in Arts. Eric Vascatels, Associate in Arts. Miriam Vasquez, Associate in Arts. Julia Walsh, Associate in Arts. Catherine Ward, Associate in Arts. Jessica Weckerly, Associate in Arts. Jeed Williams, Associate in Arts. Marsha Williams, Associate in Arts. Katrina Wong, Associate in Arts. Chalun Yara, Associate in Arts. Rosa Zavala-Villa, Associate in Arts. Monica Zehendner, Associate in Arts.
Congratulations to the newest graduates of Southern New Hampshire University. On behalf of the Alumni Board of Directors, I am honored to officially welcome you into the SNHU Alumni Association. Today, more than 156,000 SNHU alumni around the world congratulate you on your success and hope you will be an active part of our global SNHU community. At this time, if you are one of our learners who has earned an associate's or bachelor's degree, I invite you to participate in the ceremonial tradition of moving your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. As you go forth today, always remember the university's motto, Summa Optimaque, in English, the greatest and the best. And indeed, you are. Congratulations again.